Now, without any further ado, I want to let people know that we have with us tonight the mother of the Scott sisters, who've been incarcerated for 15 long years because they were accused of robbing two or three other blacks. Can you wait? Just stop and think now. Just stop and think. Two or three other black men of $11 apiece. Now, first of all, that's ridiculous. What black man gonna let two women rob them and no gun, no knives, no nothing, just rob them? And Ms. I want you to know that Ms. Rasco, you have our seminar support, and I have may have been vocal as you don't know about, but I've been working, and along with others trying to get this done. We got the FBI and other people supposed to be working, but they work too damn slow, all of them. And I want you to tell the people so they'll know what your daughters have gone, how they got arrested, how they got prosecuted, and what's happening the 15 years they've been there.
Well, my daughters was accused of an armed robbery.
Just take your time now.
That supposed to netted $11. It was three guys that supposed to did the alleged robbery. At the time, three boys that supposed to did the alleged robbery. And the state hold case really was built around that my daughters told them to do it. My daughters had no prior conviction, no records at all. And they were took to trial in 1993. And they were sentenced in 1994 to double life sentence each. And no chance of parole for 20 years. And they have been there 15 years. And my daughter Jamie's health has turned very bad. Both of her kidneys has shut down. And she's not getting the proper medical attention that she needs there at the prison, from what my daughter has told me. She has a catheter in her neck that has been moved several times. She's been told that she may need a kidney transplant. She may need a kidney transplant. They have not told her for sure yet that if she needs a kidney transplant or not. But Jamie is not doing good. She's dying in the Mississippi prison for alleged armed robbery, where one of the state witnesses testified that they got $9, $10, or $11. No one was killed. No one was hurt. No one even went to the hospital. No weapon was ever recovered. Even the alleged victim testified in open court that Jamie and Gladys never robbed them, never took anything from them, that the three boys were supposed to rob them and took money from them. And I have been trying to fight to free them for 15 years with very little success. Until now, I have so many supporters behind me. People have heard their story, and they really can't believe it. They say, how does somebody get a double life sentence, and they never touched anyone? But this is what happened to my daughters in the state of Mississippi.
Now, can you tell the people why you think it happened? In Scott County, that's kind of all my people are from. And why do you think that your daughters got this? What was it? Was there a reason for them to get that?
Well, I believe it was just out of hatred.
Okay.
I believe it was out of hatred for my husband's family and for my husband people, things. Well, one thing that his nephew did, by turning the FBI informer against this high white sheriff, and we all know in the state of Mississippi you don't do that. So by that's one thing. And then it was just a lot of hatred. And then because they were black.
Main thing you saying that your husband, I understand, was a pretty tough old man too there.
Yes, he was.
And they didn't like him.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
I understand that his nephew is the one that turned evidence against the sheriff of Scott County and got him put in jail for 5 years. That's
yes,
true?
Yes,
and
then
that all came, and the judge was a friend of the guy who was the sheriff, was it? That's
well, Marvin Williams, the deputy sheriff that put all this into motion.
Yeah.
He had worked for Glenn Warren on some aspects, working on his farms and different things, but he was a good friend of Glenn Warren. And when that happened, that just kind of made them hate the Roscoe name. Anything Roscoe's come up in, then the Judge Marcus go and throw the book at him. So it was just a lot of hatred.
Now, Judge is from Forest, from that area. Is he from? Where is he from?
I think he's from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I'm not sure.
In Neshoba County.
Yeah,
that's where he's from, a low down skunk. But go ahead.
But Marcus Gordon, his instructions to the jury was that if they found Jamie and Gladys guilty, to give them a life sentence. And so when the jury found them guilty by them being two alleged victims, they gave them 2 life sentences each.
A life sentence for each one of them.
For each victim, right. So
That's
they
a
got
damn
2
shame.
life sentences apiece. And initially, they tried to do it with no chance of parole.
With no chance of parole.
With
they
no
tried.
chance of parole.
But they
and
did
then
get it
the
with-
attorney they had, some kind of way, got that off of them.
So they're not going to get it in 20 years.
Now they come up for parole in 20 years. They have to do 20 years flat before they come up for parole.
Now, first of all, let me ask you this. The prosecuting attorney, did they furnish your daughters lawyers?
My daughters had attorney, Furnace Alexander and Gail Grinshaw. They were the 2 lawyers that was on the case at the time.
Now, how'd they get them on it? Did the family pay
My
them?
husband hired them.
Your
Yeah, my
husband
husband hired them, and
followed.
some of the family have paid, so we could get
But
the
the
attorney.
state never furnished your lawyer.
No.
So now let's go now. Then when they found them guilty, what did they say? What did they give a chance to say
jury,
anything?
well, like I say, Marcus Gordon gave them the instruction that if they found him guilty, to give him life.
Now, how many
But,
blacks was on the jury?
From my understanding, it was like maybe two alternate jurors
Two
that
alternate.
were black. I
No
think.
black jurors on the jury, but just 2 alternate.
2 alternate, from what I understand, and I think one of them didn't show up that day or something. So it was basically white. It was basically a white jury.
Because one of the jury could just say, "I don't believe they're guilty," and that would have helped it
That
up.
would have helped it up.
But they were all white, an all-white jury
yes.
in Scott County in 1993. Since your daughters found your daughters guilty, and the judge sentenced them to 2 life sentences.
2 life sentences each.
That's a damn shame.
And
you know,
they never.
and they kill people here now and get 8 and 5, 6 years. They murder people and get maybe life, 15 years. And these 2 kids got 2 lives. And now, let me ask you this. What has been the since then? Have you tried to get an appeal? Anybody try to appeal it? Anything?
Well, Mr. Chugway Lumumba did their last appeal.
Okay.
And it was denied.
It was denied?
It was denied.
Who denied it? The jury? Same jury?
The appellate court, I think. The appellate court. They denied it.
Now, if we got any blacks on an appeal court, sure they said, well, yeah, let's give them an appeal. Let's hear it. This is so thin anyway. Mm-hmm. And just don't make no kind of sense to me to have 3 darkies, and I mean darkies, on anything and won't stand up for what's right. Now, that go for Leslie King and all the rest of the kings, and tell all the rest of them judges down there that for I'm saying they less than men if they didn't give these young ladies a chance to have an appeal. It just didn't make sense. Now, and then after that, that's all right. Don't worry about that. Just let it ring. Just let it ring. Let the phone ring. We ain't care about that. And then after they didn't appeal, then what? How long ago that been?
Oh, I'm not sure of the year because Mr. Lumumba, like I said, he just filed a
One of
last
the finest
appeal.
fellows you're going to find.
Yes, and he's a very,
Chuck is a one.
strong activist,
Yes.
and but he just didn't stand a chance to me.